You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
How do you do? You gentlemen, of course, know how to push a product. That essentially is your job. My presence here is for much the same purpose, simply to push a product. To acquaint you with an entertainment product which we hope and which we rather expect will make your product pushing that much easier. What you're about to see, gentlemen, is a series called The Twilight Zone. We think it's a rather special kind of series. Essentially, people watch television to get entertained. And the keynote of this series, the thing we're concerned with, the thing we're aiming for, the thing we're working toward is entertainment. This is a series for the storyteller, because it's our thinking that an audience will always sit still and listen and watch a well-told story. And now that I've immodestly gone on record predicting the high quality of this series, let me very briefly show you what we mean by a special kind of series. You know, writers in general are notoriously bad verbal tellers of stories. We do much, much better behind a typewriter. So, gentlemen, please sit back and take your first trip into the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone was an American anthology television series that aired from 1959 to 1964, created and hosted by Rod Serling. Each episode told a completely different story, usually involving science fiction, fantasy, or the supernatural, with a twist ending. But it wasn't just about strange or eerie situations. The show used those stories to explore real human issues like prejudice, fear, greed, identity, and morality. What made it stand out and how it blended entertainment with deeper meaning. For example, a story about aliens might really be about discrimination. A tale about time travel might explore regret or second chances. Because of this, The Twilight Zone became one of the most influential TV shows ever made, and its themes still resonate today. He created the entire concept. Serling didn't just host the show. He created it, wrote many episodes, and shaped its tone from the ground up. His goal was to tell adult stories on television, using science fiction and fantasy as a disguise. He became the face of the show. Serling appeared in nearly every episode, delivering the iconic opening and closing narrations. His calm, serious tone became one of the most recognizable voices in TV history. He battled censorship constantly. Before The Twilight Zone, Serling's writings about racism and social injustice was often censored on live television dramas. He used sci-fi as a workaround, so he could still talk about controversial issues without direct interference. He turned sci-fi into social commentary. Episodes often disguised real-world issues like prejudice, war, and conformity behind alien invasions or strange events. Serling believed, and I quote, television could comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. He was a prolific writer. Serling wrote or co-wrote over 90 episodes of the series. His scripts were known for tight storytelling, moral depth, and unforgettable twist endings. And he was an award-winning talent. He won multiple Emmy Awards before and during The Twilight Zone. Despite his success, he continued pushing for meaningful storytelling over purely commercial TV content. His legacy lives on. Many modern shows still follow Serling's formula: twist endings plus moral lessons and speculative fiction. Without him, anthology storytelling on television might look completely different today. And in short, Rod Serling wasn't just part of the Twilight Zone, he was the driving force behind it, shaping every layer of its meaning, style, and impact. The Twilight Zone isn't just a journey into the strange. It's a journey into us, into our fears, our flaws, and the choices that define who we are. Guided by the vision of Rod Serling, each story pulls back the curtain on prejudice, greed, power, and paranoia, showing how easily we can lose ourselves when fear takes control. Here, reality bends, time shifts, and the impossible becomes possible. But the real focus is always human nature, our need to belong, our struggle with identity, our obsession with control, and the consequences that follow when we let our worst instincts lead the way. From isolation and regret to justice, redemption, and the search for meaning, The Twilight Zone explores the full spectrum of what it means to be human. And decades later, its message still lingers because the scariest place it ever took us was a reflection of ourselves. Much of the Twilight Zone was crafted within the gates of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios, where sound stages and the famed Phantom backlot were transformed into worlds far beyond reality. Beneath studio lights and painted horizons, ordinary sets became places of unease, wonder, and imagination, helping shape the Twilight Zone into one of television's most enduring and visionary creations. Despite creating alien worlds, dystopian futures, and strange realities, many episodes reused the same sets and locations around California. Clever writing and atmosphere made the show feel far bigger than its budget. The Twilight Zone is renowned for its pioneering black and white cinematography, primarily crafted by George T. Clemens, which used high contrast noir lighting, extreme wide angle lenses, and disorienting Dutch angles to create a surreal, claustrophobic atmosphere. The show bridged TV and film techniques utilizing moody shadows, deep focus, and innovative camera placement, such as shooting from under tables or low angles to enhance tales of suspense and the supernatural. What really stands out is how the Twilight Zone mixed rising talent with seasoned performers and gave them material that was far deeper than typical television at the time. That's a big reason why those performances still feel powerful today. The power of the Twilight Zone didn't come from special effects alone. It came from the unforgettable actors who brought its stories to life. Performers like Burgess Meredith, William Shatner, Jack Klugman, Cloris Leachman, Martin Landau, Charles Bronson, Dennis Hopper, Burt Reynolds, Elizabeth Montgomery, and Telly Savalas gave the series its emotional charm and unforgettable atmosphere. While future legends like Robert Redford and Leonard Nimoy and Robert Duvall helped turn the show into a showcase for rising talent. Together, these actors transformed strange and mysterious stories into something deeply human, making every episode feel timeless, haunting, and impossible to forget. One of the greatest strengths of The Twilight Zone was indeed its incredible range of acting talent. From established stars to future Hollywood legends, the show featured a plethora of memorable performances, whose emotional, gripping, and believable performances helped transform each episode into a timeless classic. The Twilight Zone wasn't just a journey into the strange, it was a journey into ourselves. Beneath the science fiction and the supernatural twists live stories about who we are at our best and at our worst. It explored prejudice and fear of the unknown, the dangers of greed, power, and pride, and the quiet weight of loneliness, regret, and identity. Guided by the voice of Rod Serling, each episode held up a mirror, questioning reality, time, and fate, while exposing the fragile line between justice and cruelty, conformity and courage. Whether it was a dystopian future, alien encounter, or ordinary people facing extraordinary choices, the message was always the same. The real mystery isn't what's out there, it's what's inside us. Because in the Twilight Zone, the greatest twists don't just surprise you, they reveal you. Even after all these years, The Twilight Zone remains a timeless masterpiece, where the visionary storytelling of Rod Serling and unforgettable performances came together to explore fear, hope, prejudice, and the human condition. More than science fiction, it is a mirror held to humanity, one that still invites us, even now, to step beyond the edge of imagination.
What you're afraid of is the unknown. Don't be afraid.
But I am afraid.
The running's over. It's time to rest.
I suppose you're gonna tell me that stuff you write for Twilight Zone makes sense.
Well, I think it does, Jack.
Oh, yes, some say. I can't understand what it means at all. I don't think there is such a place as Twilight Zone.
Oh, look, Jack, certainly there's a Twilight Zone. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Look at it. The Twilight Zone it's a place of imagination, a land of shadow. To reach it, you write a dream. To enter it, you need only your imagination.
Thank you, and good night.